Hello, Consign Pro customers. Welcome back to our monthly webinar series. My name is Brian Wilson, and I'm here to present to you the latest chapter in our webinar series, which is going to be year-end processing with the Consign Pro program. Our timing is good on this because, well, it's year-end. It's December. Come the end of the month, you're going to have to run some reports in Consign Pro that are only available to be correct at year-end or the first of the year. There's some other maintenance that you should do at year-end with your Consign Pro system. So I thought, what a great time to do this topic is on year-end processing. So here we are in the Consign Pro program at the main menu. I'm on version 9.94 of Consign Pro, which is our latest. I actually don't think we've released that. So 9.93 is probably our latest. What you're going to receive, along with this webinar link on YouTube that you're watching, is going to be a link to our year-end page on our website where we talk about year-end processing. That URL, by the way, is consignpro.com/yearend.php. In case you don't have my email, you can just visit that link at the top of the screen. And here we've put together a list of things you should do at year-end in Consign Pro, things that we're going to go over today. And I'm going to highlight what some of the most important things are. So here we go. It says several numbers will be needed to your accountant to prepare your federal business tax return. Possibly your personal income tax return if you're a sole proprietorship. Many of these numbers come directly from Consign Pro. In fact, they all do. Below are instructions for obtaining the most commonly asked for numbers from the Consign Pro system. These numbers are best obtained on the last business day of the year or the first of the new year before you do any work. So here we go. Without further ado, we're going to take a look at some sales numbers. Accountants love to know how much you're making. So does the federal government and probably your state governments too. I'm going to go back to Consign Pro here, and we're going to go to the reports page. We're going to run a sales activity report, and we're going to run that for January 1st through December 31st. And you want to close all your sales before running this report. So if you're doing this on the 31st, be sure to put through whatever sales you have and then either run this report after you've done that or the first business day of the following year is fine. This is one of those reports you can run anytime. So if you didn't get to it till March or April or May or what have you, the report should still be perfectly accurate for sales you made in 2018. You can print this to the screen. It's going to be a ton of pages, by the way. This is the detailed version of the report. We have a totals only, but I want you to use the detailed version. And when I go to the last page of this report by clicking the little VCR control down here at the bottom corner, I'll just click this last page button, and then we're going to maximize that. What you're going to get here is the totals, obviously, the totals for all sales made in 2018. My suggestion would be this page right now is 59 pages long, tells you at the bottom. I would not suggest printing 59 pages. I would hit the little printer icon down at the bottom. You'll see it in the ribbon at the bottom of the screen. And I would say print from pages 59 through 59. I hit OK. And out on my HP printer is going to come just my totals. Those totals will be critical to your accountant or bookkeeper doing your books for year end. So here on this, you've got gross sales, discounts that you've taken on those sales on our amount due screen. Gives you net sales, subtracting discounts from gross, gives you net. If you forget that, by the way, we've got some handy little, at the top, we've got A minus B as net sales. So we tell you what's in each number. Sales taxes collected and probably paid to your state, next column D. And then we've got some things like gift card, gift certificate sales, maybe that haven't been redeemed yet, layaway credits, people that put down deposits but haven't come pick up their layaways, credit card credits, gift card credits, so people that redeem those gift cards, and then people that redeemed account credit. It's not important for you to know kind of where those go on accounting or bookkeeping wise, but your accountant or bookkeeper will probably use each and every one of the numbers in those columns and build those into your books for the year. So I would print page 59 of 59, whatever your last page is, print that, and that'll be very handy for your sales. Gross sales, discounts on sales, state sales tax paid. Those are the three we just covered, and they're all covered on the detailed version of the sales activity report. Each has their own column. Next, we've got money paid to your consignors during the year. You want to know how much you paid people. That is also on a reports page. It's going to be consignor payouts. 1/1/18 through 12/31. This report also can be run at any time. It doesn't have to be on the 31st or the 1st. These numbers won't change. I'm going to do, let's see, all payouts. And I'm going to hit print. Sort by consignor name. I'm going to say no, that's not really important. The numbers are going to stay the same. And here I've got 13 pages of payouts that I did, all store checks. It looks like I've got some credit used during sales. We got subtotals for each of these categories too. And then I've got cash register payouts, probably done as cash. 500 in total, totaling $146,000. Again, this might be good for you to print a few pages here. Maybe every time you get a subtotal break, print that page. So you'd print the last page, and then maybe some of the other pages where you have a total payouts line with a total amount. Your accountant may or may not need that breakdown. This happens to be 13 pages. Maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if yours is similar size to print all of the pages for your bookkeeper or accountant. Try to see if I can make this a little bit bigger without, it's going to let me. No, it's either want to be one size or the other on this monitor. I don't know why, which means I can't get back to this back button very easily. Let's see what I can do here. Going back just a few pages, page 7, I see a page break here, 254 store checks. This might be a page that you print only because it gives a subtotal for that category of store checks. Again, don't know if that's going to be needed by your bookkeeper or accountant. I would, at 13 pages, I would probably just print all 13 and hand them to the accountant or bookkeeper. So that is everything that you've paid out during the year to your consignors because of items that you've sold for them. The next is going to be money owed to consignors. Well, that's a really easy one. You're going to go to reports, consignor report, balance is greater than 0. I'm going to hit print. Sort by last name, not necessary. And here I've got a 13-page report. I'm going to go to the last page. I'm going to hit the little printer icon, and I'm going to get what my current obligation is. If all the consignors came into the store today and asked for their check, this is what's sitting in consignor accounts. And your accountant or bookkeeper will know what to do with that, obviously. I would just print the last page on that one. So that's going to be, oh, by the way, money owed to consignors, that report we just looked at. You want to print that at your close of business or the 31st. I know that because there's a little asterisk. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. It's a little asterisk right here. Any report that has a little asterisk next to it has to be printed at year end. If you wait till the 10th of January, you're going to owe your consignors more money than you did on the 31st of December. Okay, so if you see a little asterisk, be sure to get that report run. Maybe the 1st or 2nd. You probably won't work the 1st because it's a holiday. Maybe the 2nd you come in, the first thing you do is run some of this reports that have a little asterisk next to them. Okay, cost of goods sold for store, vendor, and consigned items. Cost of goods sold is going to be found on our, looks like they're asking for it here on the inventory lookup report. And I'll show you how to do that real easy. We're going to go into reports. Inventory lookup report. Cost of goods sold for store-owned inventory. I'm going to select the status of sold. I'm going to put in sold dates as it tells me to do. Okay. And if I know my store account, I'm going to put my store account number here at the top. I don't know what the store account is on this system. It doesn't look like one's been set up, but I believe this instruction here is, let's see, it's put in the consignor ID associated with the store account. Make the status sold and put in sold dates for the year. Click continue and print. On the last page of that report will be total cost of store items. You'll see what your total cost of goods sold is for selling those store inventory items. Same thing with vendor items. The only thing different there is going to be, you're going to put in, let's see, run a vendor sales report. Okay, so that's a different report. That's going to be over here. Vendor sales report, really easy to do, 1/1 through 12/31. And we're going to just hit print. If you're putting vendor items into your system, you're going to get all the vendor sales that happened over the course of the year. Print just the last page. You'll see what your total cost of selling those vendor items is. So you're going to have a total cost of store-owned inventory you've sold, a total cost of vendor items that you've sold. Okay. And then lastly, we get into, and of course, the total cost for consigned items that you sold is going to be money paid to consigners and maybe money owed to consigners. So the total of those two would be perhaps, or maybe the difference between what you owe to consigners this year versus what you owed to consigners last year, plus the money you paid to consigners might be your expense for selling consigned items. Year-end inventory value, store items, vendor items, and consigned items. This is going to be what is out on your sales floor for each of those different types of inventory. What is the value of everything that's out on your sales floor? Your accountant will certainly want that number, and the instructions for doing both are right here. Essentially, it's going to be the same for all of these. It's going to be running the inventory lookup report with either a status of store, vendor, or available, and clicking continue and clicking print. Okay, on the last page of each of those reports, you're going to get a total cost of the items. You might take a pen out. You might, if the title of the report isn't perfect on that last page, you might just write consigned, vendor, or store on each one of those last pages. Okay. These reports that I just mentioned, year-end inventory value, year-end inventory value, year-end inventory value, store, vendor, and consigned, best to run those first of the year, second of the year, before you do a bunch of work in the system. Okay? It's going to give you, what the value of those things are out on your sales floor. Okay, so everything here is, what most typical accountants look for. Your accountant, if they need any other numbers, feel free to reply to my email note or reach out to Brian at consignpro.com anytime you'd like. Ask me what number you're looking for. Ask me the best place to find it, and I will let you know. This year-end page we put together several years ago, and store owners seem to really enjoy it. It puts everything right neatly together in one place, and it tells you when you need to do it and what you need to do. At the bottom, very important, other important year-end tasks. I almost think this should be at the top of this page because it is so important. On the shutdown screen, and we'll go there right now, it says remove a check mark. Why do we do that? Invoices over. If your invoices over says 365 days, like it does now, you'll want to remove that check because we don't want to be deleting invoices from January of 2018 when we get to January of 2019. My suggestion would be maybe to keep that check in there and just make this 730 days, which is 2 years. Okay? If you make it 2 years, you won't have to remove the check. It will keep all of your 2018 work squarely in place until you can get a chance to doing all of the accounting and bookkeeping you need to do for the year. Okay? And then lastly, I think this is probably the singular most important thing that you're going to need to do at year end. Go up here and do disk, backup database. This, by the way, it's another thing that needs to be done at year end, is backing up your database. I would go out to a office supply store or maybe Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, buy a low capacity flash drive. Anything 1 gig or less will work. You maybe not even be able to find one that small. 2 gigs, 1 gig, 3 gigs, 5 gigs. They're going to cost $10, $12, $15 tops. You're going to get a piece of masking tape. You're going to write on that masking tape YE 2018, year end 2018. You're going to put that flash drive into your computer. You're going to select from this drop-down list. I would suggest putting the flash drive in first, then going to disk backup database. You're going to see an entry in the list here that says E or F or G. It's going to have a little picture of your flash drive next to it. You're going to hit that backup DB button after you put that flash drive in. It's going to take a permanent copy of your backup of your database on 12/31 or 1/1 or 1/2. It's going to put that backup onto that flash drive. You're going to take it out. You're not going to use that flash drive again. You're going to stick it somewhere safe. Maybe you've got a safe in your store. Maybe you've got a safe at home. Maybe you've got an important files box somewhere, fire retardant, whatever. Get that in that box, and that will serve as your permanent memory of what 2018 looked like. In case you ever need to go back, you never know when you need to go back. My suggestion would be to do that. If you're backing up to our server, your screen will look like this. If you don't know, you can back up your database to our server. It costs about $6 a month. We've got a lot of customers using this. It takes the backup out of your store and puts it on our server in Chicago, which is where our server is located, in a data center. That data center is fireproof, flame-proof, earthquake-proof, power-proof. We're going to save your backups here for as long as you need them for. If you're backing up to us, however, I'm still going to recommend to you making a local copy on a flash drive. Do not think that we've got your back and we've got you covered for this one important year-end file. We will have you covered the entire rest of the year, guaranteed. But this year-end file, I want you to back that up locally. So go out, pick up a flash drive, pop it in there, remove this check mark. It's going to say, do you want to make this change permanent? We're going to say no, because we want to back up on January 3rd or 4th back to our server again. So this is a one-time deal. You're going to select that E drive or F drive down here. You're going to hit Backup DB. When you're done, you're going to have a nice copy on that flash drive. Label it nicely. Put it somewhere safe. You probably will never need to go back to it, but I want you to have it just in case you do need to go back to it. Okay? So that's the last step that you need to do at year end, is to take a backup. That is something that should be done on the 2nd or the 3rd before you start doing a lot of business for the new year. That pretty much wraps up our year-end webinar. That web page that I showed you is going to be critical to you being successful in getting all your tasks accomplished before the new year. If you have any questions, feel free to reply. If you need to know where any particular numbers are that haven't been described on our page or in this webinar, I can help you find them very easily. I want you to wish you a happy and joyous new year and a happy holidays and all that good stuff. If you need anything from us, please give me an email or give us a call. Our support team is well versed in everything that's on this webinar, so they can help you out too. Thanks a lot for attending tonight, and I hope to hear from you soon.